Alright, so we are now here for the second group of multi-class events. We've obviously done these ones over here. We did these a while ago. I can't believe how far we've actually come in the last 2 weeks. Like, we've gotten so far in the event list, which is crazy. But this is going to take a while. We got about, it's 7 races for each one. We're starting off with the GT2 professional multi-class event. And each one of these is like a 10-minute race. So it's going to be like part 1, part 2 for all the videos on this. Which is going to be fun. Not. Let's get into it. We're starting off with LeMans, Sebring, Silverstone, Road America, Road Atlanta, Mazda Raceway, and then Circuit de Catalunya. Let's get going. Alright, here we go. GT2. Nvidia on top. Nvidia's definitely on top for graphics. So these cars ahead, the ones that I'm racing against now, are technically the superior class. Obviously they're starting to pull away now. They're going to pull away, but the cars behind are in the other class. But the cool thing about us, even though we're in separate classes, if I had caught up to him, I would have been allowed to overtake. Yeah, Mike, thank you for the elixir there, man. Thank you for the 20 elixir. Appreciate it. Appreciate the help supporting the channel. Thank you very much. And yeah, so they're now going away quite quickly. To be fair, I've heard a lot of good things about Intel GPUs for content creators. I know Intel isn't very good for, like, old games. They're obviously working really hard to make new games that release now work really well. But obviously, for older titles, it's hit and miss. But, like, for content creators, the tools that they have with, like, AV1 encoding and stuff like that, they're actually really good value GPUs if you're looking to just make content with them and like render videos and stuff. Like, they're actually really surprisingly good. Yeah, Nvidia with an AMD CPU is quite possibly the best mix. What I've got at the moment. See, the thing is, I can guarantee you, if Nvidia went into the CPU market, they could have the potential to make impressive just builds. And like, they could get a lot of money. I'm telling you right now, the second that Nvidia announces that they're making CPUs, I'm buying Nvidia stock. Because I made the mistake of not buying any stock before the AI boom that they had. And like, even if I bought £100 of stock, I think it would have been worth over £1,000 by now. And the rest. Yeah, they could easily make an incredible CPU. To be fair, we've actually done an alright job keeping up with... Never mind. I'll keep my mouth shut. That was brilliant. I was just about to say we've done a great job keeping him up with the group in front, but I fucked that. That was incredible. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm not a fan of the AI focus, but the frame generation, the fact that it is possible to use that to upscale games is pretty good. The only thing I want is for them to make sure that there is a feature that DLSS can be installed to any game, because they did a thing where you could like recompile old games and make them run with ray tracing, and they did that for Portal. They had Portal RTX, and that was quite sick. I would love to see it be possible for DLSS to be installed into any game. Granted, it will have varying results. There won't be anything that's like, oh yeah, this is supposed to look good. But imagine being able to take a game, right, that the game engine runs at 60 FPS. For example, Need for Speed Rivals, the game engine runs at 60 FPS. You can't have it at a higher frame rate than 60. So imagine using DLSS, instead of speeding up the game engine, it generates frames, and you can start running some of those old games at 120 FPS, 240 FPS, right? It's obviously not going to be perfect. It's obviously still going to have latency, because that's what it's for. But you can have a game that looks much smoother than it ever used to. No, ray tracing does not do double frames. I don't know who told you that. Ray tracing is nothing to do with DLSS. So DLSS is a technology that upscales and creates frames. So if you select 2x frame generation, that's what's doubling your frames. Ray tracing itself is just how light is rendered. Path tracing is basically a more advanced version, I think. I've heard path tracing being thrown around a lot lately, which makes no sense. It's like, why? Okay, thank you for the elixir. But yeah, no. Ray tracing just slows your performance down. So that's why they rely on DLSS to bring that performance back up. But what they should do is just not focus on ray tracing. No. I will not agree with that either, Isa. I've compared a lot of games that have ray tracing and that don't. And ray tracing isn't necessary. You look at games like even GTA Enhanced is a great example. So the developers of GTA put so much effort into standard reflections and trying to make them look as impressive as possible for a PS3 and for a PS4 subsequently. Those didn't have ray tracing technologies, and actually when you compare the ray trace version that they put out to the standard version, both reflections and everything look very similar. It is possible to get ray tracing levels of quality with standard rendering. The only issue is, ray tracing gives developers an easy way out that they don't have to put as much effort in. It doesn't make a game look better. And that's what a lot of people think, and it's really misleading from Nvidia. Because then people like Isa will come along and just say, yeah, ray tracing makes it look good. No, it doesn't. The developer makes the game look good. Ray tracing is just a tool that they use to make it easier to make those lights. But there is an incredible amount of performance here. So Yeah, I've seen the difference with Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk was a game built with ray tracing in mind, so they didn't put any effort into standard rendering. I'm talking about old games that didn't have ray tracing, that are adding ray tracing, and it's not actually an improvement over their standard lighting model. Ray tracing is just an extra tool so that they don't have to put effort into the lighting. Alright, here we go. Sebring now. See how we go with this track. 5 laps, so yeah, these are definitely longer races. We're actually holding our ground with the GT1 cars, but I know we're going to lose that very shortly. Oh. Yeah, there you go, told you. But I can keep holding it for a bit longer. The car behind's not that quick. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of DLSS for older games that aren't capable of running at higher frame rates. I think DLSS is a great tool, and it could be used for that. But they won't make that tool public. They won't make that tool available. 1080-60 ain't crashing my phone now. Let's go. I got a new phone, and I can now watch. Although it's a 1440p display, because of how YouTube rendering works, technically if you run 4K quality, or like the quality above what your display is capable of, you'll get a clearer picture. You won't see more pixels, but you'll get a clearer picture. So I can now play 4K videos as well. So I can run 4K, and I can get a crystal clear 1440p image, which is nuts. And obviously when it comes to me making content for, you know, the 4K Forzas, I'm going to be really excited to record all of those in 4K. Pretty much what you said, Isa. Yeah, so the XR won't... I think it's got a 1080p display, so... Because Apple is still scared to go up to 1440p. That's why Samsung hasn't put a 4K display in their phones. Because Apple, even today, still only has a 1080p display in their phones. Oh my gosh, I was still ahead of the GT1 cars. What the fuck? There's one more car behind me still as well. Look, there he is. Oh. Nice. Yeah, 100%. I'll agree with that. And I mean, all you have to do is look at the USB Type-C fiasco that they had, and like, you know, they fucked up with that. Gonna upgrade to a 14 soon. Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, it's a worthwhile upgrade, but there's, like, There is 0 point in upgrading from generation to generation now with phones. Whoa! Yeah, iPhone wouldn't have the Type-C. But no, they put the Type-C on, but they put it as a USB 2.0 port on the iPhone 15. Which is wild. Because they turned around and went, oh yeah, if we can't... if we're forced to use the Type-C, then we won't be able to innovate. Then they put the Type-C on, and they put the worst option of Type-C on. So there's no need for innovation at that point. Your innovation is put a better Type-C in. They could have put 3.0 on the standard phone and 3.1 on the Max, and they would have had 2 different speeds, but they would have had a fast one for the standard phone, and an even faster one for the Max. But no, they put a 3.0 in the Max phone, and then put 2.0, which is the same as their Lightning connector, by the way. USB versions are confusing. They're not. They really aren't. So USB, the speed rating for them, for like Type-C, and USB-A as well, are all pretty much the same. There's a speed standard. So if you've got a Type 3 USB, it can do a certain amount of bandwidth. Type USB 2 was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was introduced in like 2008. Like, it's an old technology. Yeah, USB-C is the rounded one. Yeah. But the USB with the numbers, that's speed. So we're on to, I think we're on to USB 3.2 now. There hasn't been a huge speed increase to justify USB 4, I don't think. Well, they might be looking at getting USB 4 at some point. Did you just attack Connor? Alexa. Thought so. There's USB-A to USB-C and USB-C to USB-C. If you're thinking of USB-A to USB-C and things like that, you're going to end up confusing yourself. As a techie person, you should just think A is the rectangle. B is... I don't know what B is. I think that's technically the micro. You've got micro USB. So you got USB-A, USB, micro USB, and then USB-C. Those are the 3 USB connectors, and those are the only things you can should think about. Yeah, exactly. B is micro USB, yeah. So USB-B, micro USB. And those are the 3 types of USB. That's the connectors. And then the number is the speed. So you've got USB, you've got USB 2.0, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2. If I'm not mistaken, I think the old 30-pin connector that Apple had, like the really fat one that you used to have on iPods and the first iPhones, I'm pretty sure the 30-pin connector was USB 2.0 as well. I am 99% sure. I think that's a god-awful slow speed. And the fact that they stuck with that with Lightning and saying, oh, we innovated and all this stuff, and yet they put a Type-C cable with the same speed that they've been running the entire life cycle of Apple mobile devices, I think is wild. I think it's nuts. Nice. You don't want a gaming phone with triggers, because then that makes it really uncomfortable. You may as well just have like a PS Vita or something. Realistically, just get yourself a backbone and plug a phone into that. You'll be fine. Alright, here we go. iPhone is good at taking photos, but they haven't. That's all that they focused on. They focus incredibly on doing that. All of their sensors are from Sony as well. So Sony makes the camera sensors for iPhone. They also make the camera sensors for Samsung as well. So Sony is the one that's making all these sensors. And it's all down to their AI processing that they've got in their phone. Apple is in the lead, 100%. But they could be so much further ahead if they put better sensors in. They won't. Obviously, they're relying on the software. Okay, fair enough. But the thing is, Samsung has a 200 megapixel camera in their Ultra phones. And, like, that thing is incredible for taking photos. And, like, they don't need the processing for it, because the sensor itself is just so much better. But like the hardware that's offered from Apple is just mediocre at best. It is a brand you're paying for that. Whereas Samsung, the hardware that they put in, they actually put a decent amount of hardware in. For a £900 phone from Apple, you're getting basically 2-year-old tech. Whereas the Samsung Ultra has like the latest chips, the fastest chips. Like the Ultra phone is always faster than like the current gen Apple. And like Apple takes 2 years to get more powerful than the Ultra. And yeah, the Ultra is like £1,200, but you've got a much more solid system. You have a pen, you have a stylus, you can do anything with it. Literally. And your display is 1440p instead of 1080p. Yeah, I don't know about Nokia. I haven't heard any good things about their latest phones. The only thing is the Brick was like an incredible phone. But like any of their touchscreen models have always been shite. How many people are watching the stream right now, by the way? We got 10. Fuck yeah! How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Yeah. Hola. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for the fact that BlackBerry focused on having, like, what's it called? Having keyboards and stuff. Like, I remember BlackBerries were still being sold with physical keyboards. Like, there was so much potential that BlackBerry could have done when the touchscreen started coming out, that they could have been on top quite easily. They could have made 3 models of phones. They could have made a model that was just old school BlackBerry. See if people would buy it. They could have made a model with a touchscreen. And they could have even had a model that incorporated both. Like, that had like a slide up screen that would reveal a keyboard. And still had touchscreen. Whoa! Yeah. But like, BlackBerry could have gotten away with being Apple. Like, they still had that free messaging service at the time that everyone was going on about. And like, that got people to buy a load of BlackBerries. Like, sure, Apple had their own thing with like iMessage and whatnot. But you still needed a data contract for other phones. And I know it's the same with BlackBerry, but so many people had a BlackBerry at the time that it would have made more sense to buy a BlackBerry. I just don't see how they couldn't prioritize on that situation. Yeah, BlackBerry's a good work phone, but I think the company went bust. I don't think they make phones anymore. I think they make like the occasional touchscreen phone, but they're owned by another company, so it's actually the other company that's making it. Because yeah, their phones are pretty much dead. But like, they had so much potential. They could have been the company that faced Apple. They could have been the Samsung of the Android world. Nah, fair enough. I remember watching a documentary. It was like a short documentary about how people thought calling 999 would charge their phones. And it was BlackBerry that started that. So basically what happens with a BlackBerry phone, like the old ones, if your battery was low, it would go into like a turn off your cell service mode kind of thing. So you could use it as like, you know, see what the time is, but that was about it. Like, it would turn everything off so it didn't completely shut down. Except for if you called 999, it would then unlock. So people would call 999 to unlock it, hang up, and would then end up being able to put like one final call to their mum saying, "Mum, pick me up, my phone's dead." And it became such a thing that people genuinely thought, if you used your phone and called the emergency services, you would get charged on your phone. And like, it was such an issue back in like the mid to early 2000s. Such a huge issue in the UK. Alright, we're almost done with this race. And there we go, across the line, slap bang, 10 minutes. Old 3310 Nokia is like a cockroach. It can survive an atomic bomb. Well, according to Fallout, they can, but they don't. They become mutated. Rad roaches. The only thing it can't survive is quesos sitting on it. That's why queso is the anchor being. Queso is the anchor being of our reality. Well, that car fucked it. Too much pressure from the Viper behind it. Look how sick these cars look. I want to see if brakes go red in this. They don't. That was added to later Forzas. Okay. Alright. Nice. Stanley was our anchor being. It's not even totally unplausible. Ferrari's doing a good job here. I might end up taking the BMW art car for the next event and then coming back to the F430. Because I think there's only those two GT2 2 cars anyways. We'll figure it out. Whoa! Keep it going. Keep it smooth and steady. Slow and steady, boys. Slow and steady. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Nice. I'm actually, like, unsure how Horizon 1 is actually going to be played out. I haven't figured that out yet. But I know for a fact Horizon 1 is going to end up being like, no, my luck, it's going to be like 12 videos. It's going to be a really short series, and then we're going to be thrown straight back into Motorsport 5. But Horizon 2 is going to be a big one. So tick-tack, tick-tack. Come on, come on. Oh, nice. Ooh. Nice. Right, we got 2 more laps after this lap. Are you a mustard or a ketchup team? Obviously, I'm a Wolverine fan. Especially with the mustard song and the Heinz ad that they did. Mustard. Deadpool very much died in that one. Hey, mustard on the beat, oh, mustard. Tick tack, tick tack. Nice. I didn't break enough. Alright. Got one more lap after this. Nice. Right, one more lap. Keep this going, keep it flowing. Briggs and Stratton. I don't know what that is. Nice. Yeah, this chat's become too nerdy for me. I'm just like nodding. That's brilliant. Cyrus, what the fuck is that? There we go, nice result there. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, comment down below and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.